Okay, what I have here is an old Keywine pocket watch. It was made in 1865 and it's made by the American Watch Company, which later changed their name to the Waltham Watch Company. The watch is a model 1857 and the grade is the William Ellery. Now this watch grade was sometimes referred to as the soldier's watch, and they even advertised it for the soldiers during the Civil War time period. The watch has 11 jewels, and it was a fairly accurate watch, but it was also an inexpensive watch, and that's why it was marketed for the soldiers. So what I'm going to be doing today is taking this watch apart and cleaning it. And you can see these discolored sections that I'm pointing to with the little piece of pegwood. Those stains are usually caused from people touching the watch movement without finger protection, and the acid from their fingers discolor the movement. You can actually see the fingerprint of the person that was touching it. And a lot of times when you run the parts through your cleaning solution, it doesn't take those stains off. So I'm going to show you a method that I use to help remove those stains. Now I've already let the mainspring down, let all the tension off of it, and the next thing I always do is remove my balance so I don't take a chance of breaking the pivots on the balance staff. Well, this is my first time of working on this model 1857 type of watch, and it's a little bit different from the ones I normally work on. I've worked on a lot of Keywine pocket watches, but this is the oldest one I've ever worked on. One thing I noticed is the balance bridge comes right off, and the hairspring and the balance wheel itself stayed on the watch. They're not connected. Now always check underneath the balance bridge. There's numbers that are stamped in it that should coincide with the serial numbers that are on the watch. That way you know you have the same balance bridge that matches the watch. Well, another thing you notice is the balance wheel itself is a solid. It's steel. It's not like the split type of balance wheel you normally see. And also the hairspring itself is attached to the movement. And I have to remove this little pin to slide the hairspring out to remove it from the watch itself. Well, once I get that pin out of the way, I just take my tweezers and gently manipulate that hairspring. I use my number 5 tweezers for all my hairspring work. In fact, the tweezers that I use the most are the number 5 and the number 2 tweezers on all my pocket watch work. And another thing you notice is that the hairspring is underneath the balance wheel. Normally it's on top of the balance wheel. But this type of watch, they place the hairspring underneath the balance, which is kind of strange. Well, if you like these kind of videos, subscribe to my channel. I got all my videos are set up in a different playlist, and you can go through those playlists and find out some information that you might need. Well, now we got the balance out, we can put it in a safe spot where we won't do any damage to it. Well, now I'm going to start taking the rest of the watch apart. It's pretty straightforward. It's just like a normal watch. Take all our screws out, take our plates apart. Yeah, one thing I did notice, this watch was really dirty. It looks like it probably hadn't been taken apart since the Civil War. All the screws were really tight. There was all kind of lint and grease and dirt in the movement itself. But we're going to get it cleaned up really good and hopefully get those stains off. Well, I'm going to show you a special way that I use to get those stains off the plates and make them nice and shiny. Yeah, this will probably end up being one of my favorite watches because I'm a big history buff anyway. I've been doing Revolutionary War reenacting for many years. I don't do Civil War reenacting, but I still love history, and anything that has to do with history is really a plus for me. Well, one thing I noticed on this watch is I couldn't remove the mainspring barrel without taking the bottom plate completely off like I normally would. And also when I went to put it back together, I had to put the mainspring barrel in and all the gears back in, all the wheels back in to get it back together. It didn't slide in like a normal watch did. Okay, I've ran all my parts through my ultrasonic cleaner and got them all nice and clean. But as you can see, there's still those stains that are on the plates. And now I'm going to show you the method I use to remove those stains. It works really good. Now this is what I use. I use this lighter fluid. It works really well to remove those stains. I've had good success using it. Then I also use this brush. It's called a scratch brush with a retractable brass bristles. And I also use another one that has fiberglass bristles. Either one works pretty good. I prefer the fiberglass really. Well, then what I do is just take some lighter fluid in a glass bowl and just put a little bit of lighter fluid in there because it evaporates really fast. And I take my scratch brush and dip it into lighter fluid. Then I take my part that has the stain on it and I just very gently rub that scratch brush on it. Now you want to make sure you have that lighter fluid on that brush and it's wet. You don't want to do this dry because if you do it dry, it's going to scratch the finish on that gilding of that watch part. So you want to make sure that it's wet with the lighter fluid, and you just very lightly work it back and forth, back and forth. It's almost like it's floating on the metal the way you're rubbing it, and it'll remove almost all of that stain, and you'll be surprised how nice and clean it gets that stain off. Now you do not, I repeat, do not want to do this on a nickel plated watch part because it will scratch that part all up. But it works really good with these gilded watch plates to remove that stain. Now I just go all around that part, and wherever there's a stain, I'll work on it. Now after I'm done cleaning it, I just take the part and dip it in some IPA alcohol to clean all the residue from the lighter fluid off. Now here's the part after we've finished cleaning it with the brushes and the lighter fluid, and it's gotten all the old fingerprints off of it. It looks nice and ready to go. So now let's clean the barrel bridge and get all those stains off of it with the same method that we used to do the other part. We're cleaning it with our scratch brush and our lighter fluid. We've got one half of it cleaned. Now we're going to clean the other half side of it. Now that turned out good. Now I'm going to clean the balance bridge. I've cleaned half of it. We'll clean the other half. And that part cleaned up really good. And this is how it turned out when I finished the cleaning process. Well, here we have the watch all put back together and running strong. Well, I hope this video helps you out, and if you like it, hit that like button.